Morrie's Brooklyn Park Nissan is here today with the all-new 2016 Pathfinder, and what we'd like to do is compare it with the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot. So what we have here is the 2016 Honda Pilot EXL. Now what you're going to get for an engine is a 3.5 liter V6, which is going to give you around 27 miles per gallon on the highway through the all-wheel drive system. Now that is pretty good, being that this is an 8-passenger vehicle. It's got a lot better looks than a minivan. Even though you're going to get a lot of off-road capability, you have to think how you're going to use the car maybe 95% of the time. If you're hauling people around, you have a ton of space in the rear, which I can show you now. So there's a lot of vehicles in the third row capable class, and the Honda Pilot is one of the best options in my mind. The seats are really easy to use. Basically, you just pull this handle, and once you pull it up, you can flip the headrest up, and then you can get 3 people in the back row. If you're not using that, simply just pull and then let the seat back down. There's also a nice storage compartment under here as well, with the spare tire located underneath, and you do get the ease of access with these little buttons on the side. Now I'll show you what those do to help move that seat forward. So there is a button on the side as well, but if you're in the rear seat already, you can simply press this button and it's gonna fold the seat forward, and you can just slide it up on the track for easy access to that third row. All right, so let's take this Pilot for a spin around here. Again, this is the EXL, so you're gonna have a ton of equipment in here, and you can add the navigation and a few other things as well. But I like the spec or the trim that this one has. It's got all the stuff, you know, that's pretty nice for the Minnesota winters. You've got the heated seats in here, which is kind of my Minnesota must package. You've got the sunroof also, which lightens it up pretty well. And then if you've got the kids in the back, the Pilots have always had this nice little mirror up there, so you can see what's going on without really taking your eyes off the road. Kind of along that same note, not taking your eyes off the road rather, the center console here as well as the gauge cluster is really easy to use. It's got this cool camera when I flip on the blinker here. It's gonna show me what's to the right of me. So if you're picking the kids up at school, you can make sure you can see that way if there's someone in the seat. It's just a nice safety feature to have. Also the gauge cluster here, it's got the digital readout for your speedometer, so you know how fast you're going. And as well, you can flip on the Econ mode and you'll notice the gauges will turn green, and that's gonna help you get the best possible fuel economy. You can flip that off, not that you're gonna get terrible fuel economy without it, but for the most part, anything that helps is always nice. So for the infotainment, again, you can use whether that's your Bluetooth if you want to plug it in, or if you just got the FM going, you've got your satellite radio. There's a number of different ways you can get your music, and there's all these plugins. There's some up here, there's some in this nice little storage cubby, so you can keep your phone charged, your passenger's phone charged, the person behind you's phone charged. It's great. You can never have too many USB outlets. So for get up and go, again, this does have a V6, so it's got plenty of power. I mean, I've been driving around a little bit, and I haven't felt a need for more horsepower. I don't know if you're doing a ton of towing, that would be a different option, but gets up and goes just fine. It's not really noisy either, which is nice. It's just plenty of stuff for, like I said, 95% of the time, how you're using the car, stop and go traffic, or if you're picking the kids up, or if you're hauling stuff around. I think it's the perfect engine option that provides fuel economy with torque and enough power to get you moving. The ride and drive is nice. It's quiet, it's comfortable. Again, this is the 16, so this is the newest model, and I can't really find anything I don't like. I have some good friends that have an older Honda Pilot, and it's always, you always find yourself with a need for more space or to haul people around. When you can have the 8-passenger, that's so much room to get all your stuff in the back and still put, 6 or 8 adults in here. You're not gonna be the most comfortable with 8 people crammed in, but you know, it gets the job done. It'll get you places, and it's not too bad at all as far as ride and drive. I think Honda's got that reliability factor built in as well, where you're not gonna be wondering, is my car gonna break down? How much scheduled maintenance and service do I have to do? But if you keep up with the scheduled maintenances, these Hondas have had the sense and reliability to run for 200,000, 300,000 miles. You can find these Pilots, some of the older ones, with all those miles on, and they're still good cars. And I think that's one of the biggest points for the Pilot. If you're looking for something where you can haul people, you want the reliability, you want some of the technology, this is certainly a great option. Overall, I'd say get out and drive one. There's a lot of different competitive vehicles in this market, whether it's 7 or 8 passengers, and I think I mean, the Pilot, you've got, like I said, you've got the technology, you've got a great backup camera, you've got a great sound system, you got room for everyone to haul around, or if you're just hauling stuff to soccer, hockey practice, you're gonna have that room and you have the usability with it. So I'd say get out, drive one, see what you think. So now on to the Pathfinder. The one we have here is the Platinum with the 4-wheel drive. This is going to give you seating options for 7 with that adjustable third row in the back that you can fold flat if you're hauling stuff or pop up if you're hauling more people. Now the Platinum is going to give you a ton of equipment, which is great. A lot of that is going to be inside as well as a bunch of safety features, but on the exterior you have a lot of really good styling on this car. From the 20-inch wheels to the cool LED headlights and taillights, there's a ton of features you can get on these Pathfinders, and this one even has that added infotainment system in the rear with the TV so you can keep the kids busy when you're on your way to the cabin. So this Pathfinder does have the tow package on it as well. You're gonna have a ton of storage room in the back. Underneath here, next to the Bose Soundwave system, you do have a nice cubby, and as well the seats are gonna fold up. It's as simple as just grabbing the handle, pulling it up, and then snapping the headrest into place. Same difference for the way back down. Just pull the little cord, flip the lever, and you can drop your seats nice and flat, and you can haul as much stuff as you need. All right, so let's take the Pathfinder for a little cruise around here. So again, this one is about as loaded up as they come. It's got that entertainment system in the back. It's got so many features. I'll try and get through some of them here, but I will probably miss a couple. The seats in the Nissans are the best. They're NASA gravity inspired, zero gravity inspired seats, whatever Nissan calls them, but they are so comfortable. Between this, the Murano, and the new Maxima, I have fallen in love with the seats. Not only are they heated, but they're also cooled. The second row is heated as well in this car. It has so much equipment and it's so comfortable to drive, and it really is one of my favorite parts of the Nissan. Now, a few other things, I mean, this one has so much safety technology as well. You've got the blind spot monitoring, which is going to be up here, which is nice. It's not mounted exactly on the mirror, but they are heated mirrors as well, so they'll defrost nicely in the wintertime. And I mean, the infotainment system is maybe my only one knock on this. I know like the Honda Pilot's a little older too, but the Hyundai seems like they have a newer one. Some of the bigger Fords, my Ford Sync's a little confusing, so I know the infotainment systems are always kind of my biggest gripe, but it's just a matter of time probably before Apple CarPlay gets into all of them or the Android devices, so we'll wait for that. But until that time, I mean, it's nice for the climate control. You have all the ease of access. There's a volume knob, which I like. It's not just on the screen, which can get a little finicky, but you have your satellite radio, and then you can also have a bunch of plugins. So whether that's for the entertainment system in the back or charging your phone, you have more than enough space to plug everything in and store it as well. So acceleration is good. Like I mentioned before, this one does have the tow package, and with the CVT, I mean, you don't get that shift pattern. You just kind of put your foot down and go, which is great, because 90% of the time, if you're just sitting in traffic or if you're driving the kids around, whatever you're doing, I think this is more than enough engine power, and I like the CVT because it just put your foot in it and go. You don't have to worry too much. But from there, I mean, as far as the interior goes, it's really nice and quiet, similar to the Honda Pilot. I mean, it's just cruises along. Like I said, the seats are just my favorite part though. You don't even really think about anything else as long as you're comfortable in the car. So if you're taking that summer road trip or if you're going up to the cabin every weekend, I think the Pathfinder is going to have a ton of space for you. So those seats in the back, they're fully adjustable, or you can flip them basically flat down if you need to haul a little bit more stuff, or if you want to put 7 people in, you're going to be reasonably comfortable. I mean, 7 adults is a lot to cram in the car, but if you can kind of maybe have 5 people in here and get a bunch of stuff in the back if you're going skiing for the weekend, there's no reason why you wouldn't have enough room for everybody. Otherwise, from that, the gauge cluster is really nice. It's got a really nice classy look to it. It's easy to read. I mean, the system where you can go through and kind of monitor everything, whether that's some of your safety, your average fuel economy. There's so much stuff in this car, like I keep saying. It's hard to get to all of it just on a short drive. But overall, what do I think about the Pathfinder? I cannot wait for the new Armada to come out, which is going to be even bigger than this, but I always like the Muranos. There's a nice ride drive to them. The older Pathfinder as well. I mean, it was a great car. There's still a ton of them on the road, so there's something to be said about that. Nissan does have that reliability factor to it, where not going to spend a ton of time on maintenance or a lot of money trying to maintain everything. It's just get in the car and drive. Don't think about it. This one, you're going to have the room for it. You're going to have all the technology in here. I'd say the Pathfinder is definitely one to get out and drive. On behalf of Morrie's Brooklyn Park Nissan, thanks for watching. Now, if you'd like to schedule your test drive in the all-new Pathfinder, call, click, or stop by today. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you buy happy.